Hello viewers, welcome to my channel Science to Technology. In today's show, Camera Tuesday, we're going to talk about DJI Action 2 camera. So let's dive right into it. Now, this is a unique approach to action cameras simply because if you looked any action camera from most manufacturers, they looked more or less like a Control C, Control V of action GoPro, and Action 1 was exactly that. However, this time they are taking a bit of an approach, and their output is rather respectable. They can go up to 4K 120 FPS, which is really good, and Full HD 240 FPS. Now, be very mindful, while this resolution may look similar to GoPro does have the benefit that it goes bit awkward resolution, as in like 5.6. It's not 8K. It's like broadcast resolution always goes up in like complete steps. So it will like Full HD, 4K, 8K. It will never be like 5 points. So that resolution may be useful for you for post production, but rarely it will be useful for you for deploying that footage. So most people don't use that, but it does have that if you need that. So 4K 120 fps is more than good enough for most of the things. Full HD 240 fps, that's also very good, and it does have inbuilt memory because this puppy is extremely small. It has inbuilt memory of 20 gigabytes usable. I'm not talking about the card capacity. Usable inbuilt memory. It has Wi-Fi, and it has much better polished app applications, and it also does live streaming through live streaming, as in like live view. Yeah, live view from the camera to your mobile phone while you are recording. So that's also desirable for some scenarios, and it does have great touchscreen. And they have two add-ons. Be mindful, this is the Action Cam 2, but you can buy two things for this, and be mindful, this puppy on itself will not work simply because it does not have any way of charging it. It does not have basically USB-C plug. So you have to buy this bland block which has battery, SD card slot, USB-C port. This has SD card slot, battery, USB-C port, and a display. Now again, if you need selfie function, you can go with this. If you do not need that, for most people you don't need that, but if you need it, you can buy it. If you don't need it, you can buy this one. Like, it will always come with one of these. You have to be mindful of, because without it you cannot charge it. And if you are only using this as a pendant, it is small enough that you can utilize that as a magnetic clamp system. Basically, they're going to give you a pendant that goes inside your clothes, the magnet on top of each other. They will work good enough. So that's the unique approach. Basically, this is a segment, and so far they have released two. Now these two alone gives you enough functionality, and you can detach this puppy alone to do extremely light use if you need that. Like trying to put this puppy in very small cramped places, it will make a huge difference. So it is a bit unique. Now, what is the benefit of this puppy? Well, it's much bigger sensor. Even though the body is smaller, you can see, like, compared to a GoPro, this puppy is smaller. It does have a huger sensor. Benefit of that, better low light. It has like almost one stop better dynamic range in low light. That is like significant. As in, like, people are like, dude, this is this. Like, it's like in double blind test this puppy can pass, so meaning it tangibly has good low light performance. So if you are in a scenario where it's like, hey, I do most of things in low light scenario, or like I only do evening travels and things of that nature, go with this puppy. It does have wider field of view, because every Tom, Dick and Harry complained about like their Action 1 had like very small field of view. They're like, okay bro, okay, we're gonna stretch that puppy. They did not went to 180 degrees, that would have made too much distortion. They went to as high as like 155. So this puppy has huge wide angle field of view, meaning even the algorithm inside, we do not know the actual algorithm they are using, whether it's actually good or not. It actually beats GoPro's amazing algorithm of image stabilization, and I'm pretty sure it's not beating it simply because it has better algorithm. I'm pretty sure it's beating it because the field of view is so huge. It's like, I'm pretty sure the processor inside is like, you want me to do what? Is like stable anyway. It's like so it does translate that, and especially if you are using it drones, it does matter. Smaller and lighter, that also, if you are trying to fly it on a kite or anything like that, this weight does translate to a significant saving. So people, that's why I specified it does have some unique advantage. You may be like, hey, it will have shorter run time. Be mindful, drones don't run for like many hours. So for more than enough scenarios, having that small compact unit does have its own unique advantages. And quick swapping, the fact that you can have this magnetic swapping mechanism, it does allow you to go pong other things super easily, which has real world benefits. For example, you can have a scenario where it's like you are mounting your basically camera to one metal body, then you pull it out, then you put it in your chest pendant, then you can pull it out, place it like on top of a helmet or something like that. You can do that. That swapping is super easy, and in real world usability of a product defines whether you're going to use it or not, because I can guarantee you, personal guarantee, that you easily know at least one or two people who bought like super expensive camera equipment like DSLR. It was when it was all the craze. They bought the DSLR, everything is awesome, and it's just a paperweight now. They never pull it up because it was like too clunky, too like, and mobile phone is easier. So that's the reality of it. Quality, the default quality itself does not matter all that much if it's very difficult to use. This puppy, they really focused on that part. It's like your real world day-to-day uses, the fact that it has a better option of like, communicating with your mobile phone, which makes it far more digestible. The fact that you can swap it out in, from different places much easily, that's also desirable. So ease of use is tangibly better, and it does have better 360 horizontal level. They literally took feedbacks from what GoPro was getting flack for. It's like, hey dude, I have to buy a different lens, then activate a different mode, because they have like a huge wide angle. They're like, the software is like, I got this. So there are some tangible benefit compared to that. However, there must be some consequences. Well, the consequences, it does not have enough memory, 22 gigabytes of user. I do respect this company, the fact that you go to their website, flat out they say 22 GB usable. I respect that. They could have trolled people and like 32 GB, which legally would be correct, but like they had the balls to say, no, 22 GB usable. Let's consider 20 GB. Now, it is a bit low. Now, my understanding of that situation is that simply because of chip shortage. Right now, the world is really running out of chip shortage. Like it's weird. Like think of it this way, like most foundries, they are up to their capacity by 25%, and we still have so much demand. So I am pretty sure like they would have tried to give 128 GB, but I'm pretty sure there's simply like, we don't have it. So that does hurt, but I'm like, at this point in time, what can we do? It does overheat. Be very mindful, especially if you are in a car scenario or things of that nature. You may find a scenario where it's like stopped recording. Now it also has two thermal limits, same as like Sony. It's because by law you have to have a system where it's like, if you are touching this puppy, it should not get so hot that it should burn your skin. So if you put it to high mode, it will get much hotter. It will give you a longer run time, but still, it's not like a Sony camera where it's like it has enough capacity, enough thermal mass to dissipate heat enough. It will get overheated. Do not expect this puppy to work continuously for multiple hours. So if you are in a scenario where you want to do time lapse, do the time lapse on this. Do not do like 4K 60 FPS recording for 3 hours, and then like in your computer you're gonna do squish that. Don't try to do that. It will overheat and you will have that issue. However, given the tiny size of this puppy, that's that's not a fair comparison or even a complaint. It's like, yeah, that happens. And it's not as robust as a monolithic unit items, meaning if you compare that to any other action cameras, that's like just one block. Even to this its old variant, Action 1, that Action 1 will survive much more drops, much more crash into things compared to this puppy, simply because it's much smaller and does have a giant joint. So there is that serious part that you have to think about. Many people may like that. It's like, hey dude, I will treat it as a mobile phone. Many people will hate that simply because, hey, the whole point of an action camera is like, I do not think about a mobile phone. I have provided a video down below of an individual who returned it, or you type that like, I returned my camera after 1 week, and he spoke some very valid points. It's like, dude, I don't use my mobile phone because I'm worried I'm gonna crack it or damage it. This feels that fragile, and Potato Jet already crashed it. So that's the reality of it. It's like you have to be a bit mindful that this is not as like go YOLO on it. It's not as robust, so there are some consequences. For most people, you may survive with it, but for other people, like no, I want something that I can like don't even think about it. You have to think about this. So that's an issue, and it does overheat even underwater, especially because when you put that double casing to allow you to have deep underwater capacity, it has no way of dumping heat. And I'm genuinely surprised. It's like nobody knows of heat sinks. It's like you can put a metal block that connects the inside to the outside, and it can be stainless steel. Now stainless steel is not very thermally conductive, but it is robust enough. It can survive seawater. You can do that. It's like I'm genuinely surprised. It's like a small metal block that connects the inside to outside. Outside is cold water. You're never gonna have overheating issue. Both company, GoPro and this, both had overheating issues. I'm like, just one metal piece that connects the inside to the outside. One metal piece. What about the ecosystem? Because whenever you are buying something like this, and if you are truly utilizing, not just like making it into paperweight, you're gonna want to buy other things where you want to expand your toolkit. This is slowly becoming a big competitor, meaning not only just the products that they are releasing, you have two options with this on the launch. There may be other accessories available also. For example, they are already releasing macro lenses with that. You may find that useful, may not find that useful. They are also releasing a microphone unit which will directly over USB-C connect to this puppy, meaning if you are a couple, you can literally have this microphone that has two wireless receiver, almost like a Rode Wireless Go 2, and directly feed data into this, which is awesome. And its data is digital, it's not going through basically TXR, so it's a very clean setup. You don't have wire dangling around, so that's awesome. So it does have some truly unique offering, and the fact that they focused on, rather than like giving the 5K or 6K or like weird FPS, is like, hey, how about we give you better low light? I like that. That was like, that showed like somebody sat down. It's like actually took feedback from people, and like, okay, let me try to solve your issues. So I'm really happy with that, and they are slowly expanding their product range also. Like, that's audio, I will cover that next. And it's really capable. I'm like, they literally are looking at other companies also. It's like, I'm gonna look at you, I'm gonna study you, how the heck your product is awesome, and then I'm gonna study what people are complaining about, then I'm gonna release the product. So I'm very happy with this. This sort of approach does show that there is somebody who gives a damn about the product. It's not just like, let's F the customer. It's not Canon Cripple Hammer. I'm very happy with that. So this was my presentation with basically Action 2. Hopefully you have liked it, learned from it. In that case, please click the like button, share it amongst your friends. That will help me a lot. If you didn't like it, didn't enjoy it, I would urge you to press dislike, but that's up to you. You can still comment, because I do try to reply to all of them. Subscribe, press the bell icon if you're free, and as always, thanks for watching.